Hey, ooh, my voice. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Oh, hold on. Let me get this to where it needs to be. What happens? There we go. Now we live on Facebook and Instagram. Good morning. Did this thing just prompt me to? Hey, I might have to go back. All right, hey y'all. So this morning we're talking about common sales terms. So this is a continuation of the pre-sales training series. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just now joining us, this is actually day 5. But do not worry, days 1, 2, 3, and 4 are saved in the replay. Happy Monday, happy Monday. I see you do a road trip. Let me know while we're doing this intro and getting to know each other where you are dropping in from, where you're watching from, and what it is that you do. Woo. I keep having to clear my throat. I'm having this weird like cough thing going on. But welcome to this series. So I'm actually doing a sales training, a private small group sales training the first week of May. There are 6 spots left. If you want to join me for that, you can send me a direct message with the word sales. This pre-sales training is things that you should know prior to joining that. It is foundational sales and marketing information because systems are important, but what makes systems work is when you actually have people in them. So if you don't actually have anybody in your system, or you get a sales funnel installed, or you get a quiz built for you, or you have someone doing your email marketing, but you're not actively working on the front end to get leads into your system, you are not going to see results. So I said, you know what? I need to teach some pre sales training stuff because that's going to help you make the most of your system. Setting up a system is not an easy thing to do. It's not, I know we make it look easy, but honestly, when I first started, it was not easy for me. It was not easy for me. So, and I didn't, back then, there was nobody that was teaching technology systems, like not in the way that I needed it. This was like 2017, not in the way that I needed it. Okay. So, it's not as easy as it looks. It is very time consuming. And of course, when you set up a system, you only have to do it one time. That is the benefit to it. It's like you do it once and that's it. You really don't have to touch it unless you want to make small edits. But you're really not going to see the benefit of it if you don't actually market and do the marketing and do the sales part and do the visibility on all those kinds of things. So those are things we're talking about. So today I wanted to talk about some common sales terms because I realized, oh my gosh, I'm throwing around these terms. And I saw an ad and the person was throwing the terms around. And to me, it made complete sense. I was like, oh, yeah, 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 I hear you, I hear you. And then I sat back and thought to myself, and I'm like, normal people don't know what this means. Like if I say OTO, normal people don't know what that means. If I say LTO or HTO or CTA or SEO, they don't know what that is. Like, so this video is like really important because we need some type of foundation. We need some type of base. Like we can't just expect people to know what we're talking about. Okay. And when I say we, I mean me, coaches, and even coaches. Some coaches don't know this because it's not their niche area, right? My niche area is technology systems, so I know these terms. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So number one is OTO. OTO stands for one time offer. That is when you'll get to a page, right? So let's say you put your email in to join somebody's email list, and then it takes you to a another page that says, hey, you can grab this thing one time only on this page at this crazy discount. That is a one-time offer. I'm only offering this to you one time. You can say yes, you can say no. It's up to you. But I'm only offering it to you one time at this price. That is what an OTO is. Okay. OTOs are used to convert people faster. The problem with that used to be with sales funnels is that it took too long to convert someone. Like if your sales funnel is 5 or 6 emails long or days long, then you have to wait 5 or 6 days from the time you get the someone new joined your email list notification to them possibly making a purchase. And so what happened was marketers found ways to convert people who are actually ready to purchase, to convert people a lot sooner so that your sales funnel could be more productive. So that's what an OTO is. Then you have a downsell. Downsell and an upsell. Let's cover these two together. So a downsell is, well, an upsell is when you sell somebody into something that is higher priced than what they previously have in their cart. Not necessarily higher in price value, but you're adding on something, right? It's an additional purchase to what they already have in their cart, or it's an additional purchase to what they're already dealing with, right? Then you have a downsell, which is going to be a lower price point. I wish I would have drawn this on a piece of paper. I might have to do this video twice and do a visual version of it. But for example, if somebody goes into they go to your landing page, they download your lead magnet. After they download your lead magnet, they get a prompt that says, hey, would you like to grab this thing for such and such, right? That sounds like an OTO. If it's free and they're going into it, it's a one-time offer. If they have something in their cart already, right? So if their intention is to pay already, and then they get to a page that says, hey, do you want to add on this thing? That is considered an upsell. Sometimes people use OTO and upsell interchangeably, like as one word, which can be a little confusing. But for me, the difference is if they're going from a free download to a paid product, that's a one-time offer. If they're going from paying for something to adding on something additional in their cart at a discount, that's an upsell. If the person does not take the upsell, right? So let's say I go to your website, I have a one-on-one coaching call, and I'm about to pay for it. It's $99, and then the system says, hey, before you check out, do you also want to add on a bonus one-on-one call, same time length, another one-on-one call at half the price? So I just got one for $99 in my cart. It's asking me if I want to add another one for 50% off while I'm right here. Okay, so you see how that could be a one-time offer, seen as a one-time offer, but it's considered an upsell as well because you're adding more money to the cart. You're increasing the value of the cart. That's what cart value is, okay? So you're increasing the value of the cart. If they decide, some people will say, hell yeah, I'm going to take an extra coaching call for 50% off. Why not? I really need to anyways. Some people are going to take it. The people who are not going to take it, so the people who select, no, I don't want this offer, then you can downsell them into adding something else to their cart that's less in price than the upsell, but it still makes their cart value increased. The name of the game is to increase your cart value. Because people may come to you for one thing, but it doesn't mean that they just need that one thing. Most of the time, they need a whole bunch of other stuff too. So if you can offer it to them at a discount, if you can give them an incentive to go ahead and get what they need right now instead of cutting corners, give them the incentive, okay? So you've got an upsell and you've got a downsell. If they don't take the upsell, they'll take the downsell. Then you have LTO. LTO, L as in Larry. LTO stands for low ticket offer. Most of you have this already, a low ticket offer. Some of you have too many of them. A low ticket offer is something that is normally lower in price. What you consider to be a low ticket offer depends on your ideal client. Most of the people that I talk to, a low ticket offer is anything less than $99. Now, if all of your services are If all of your services are like $2,000, $3,000, $10,000, $15,000, a low ticket offer may be $997. Like your low ticket may be $1,000 in comparison to your other services. So you have to look at it that way. It's relative. Like low ticket is relative, cheap is relative. It depends on who you're talking to. Some people will see a Chanel bag and they'll be like, "Oh my God, it's only $3,500. That's so cheap." That's relative to that person. So low ticket offer, LTO. Then you have HTO, which is high ticket offer, which is actually trending right now. So you might have known that one already. But HTO is a high ticket offer. That's normally anything that costs 4 figures or 5 figures. Yes, there are people out here that charge 5 figures for their expertise and get paid 5 figures a person for their expertise or 5 figures a project. Okay. So LTO, HTO, 5 figures, 4 figures, 5 figures. High ticket offer. So hypothetically, right, you could have a funnel where you upsell into a high ticket offer, they don't take it, and you downsell into a low ticket offer. Now it's starting to make sense. But normally people will come on live and I'll see coaches going like, yeah, so you upsell into your HTO, if there's more you downsell into your HTO, and then you give them an OTO, and they just throw a lot of words around. It's confusing. So far we've covered OTO, one-time offer, a downsell, an upsell, LTO, which is a low ticket offer, and HTO, which is a high ticket offer. Okay, y'all are with me? You with me? The next word is a tripwire. So a tripwire is when you offer someone something right after they join your email list. Sometimes a OTO, one-time offer, and a tripwire can be the same thing. Okay? Sometimes those are used interchangeably as well. So let's say somebody goes, they join your email list, and as soon as they hit the submit button, they're redirected to another page that says, hey, do you want to grab this thing for $10 or $20? Sure, it's a tripwire. I don't particularly like the term tripwire. If you guys know what a tripwire is, it's like a really thin, like, I think it's made out of polyurethane, or maybe it's just plastic or something. But it's a really thin wire that stretches from one side to the other side. And its intention is if a burglar or somebody comes into your house or into your bank or whatever, right? They don't see the wire because it's so thin and you can't see it. It's clear, so it blends in with its background, and they trip over it and you catch them. That's what a tripwire is. Physically, that's what a tripwire is. So sometimes I don't like the term tripwire because it sounds like you're trying to trick people into a trap, but it's not. In our scenarios as coaches and service-based providers, tripwires are really for people who know that they need help, but they have a hard time admitting that they need help. So when you give them an incentive to go ahead and make the decision that, hey, I'm ready for this, hey, I'm ready for this transformation, when you give them that incentive, they're more likely to make the purchase. So people call it a tripwire, but it's not really a negative thing. Okay. All right. Then we have WIIFM. So the next term is WIIFM. A lot of people do not know this one. This is probably the one that you guys are like, I have no idea what that is. WIIFM stands for What's in It for Me. This is one of the most valuable and golden marketing tools ever. What's in it for me? Anytime that you release a digital product, a program, a service, an online course, whatever you want to call it, this is the one question that you need to answer for your audience. What's in it for me? You need to be clear about what's in it for people when they enroll in your programs, when they hire you as a coach. What's in it for them? That part needs to be completely clear. If you can answer that question, you're going to get more conversions, you're going to get more sales. Because that's what people are thinking. They're thinking about themselves, they're thinking about what is going to be beneficial for them. And it's not a bad thing, right? Like, you have to prioritize yourself. At some point in life, you have to start prioritizing your own needs, your own wants. You have to start prioritizing what you want for your business and only giving your energy to things that are going to, answer those questions for you or balance out those things for you. So it's not a bad thing. But you have to be able to answer that. What's in it for them? What's in it for them? Okay. Next term, conversion rate. I use this one a lot. I explain it sometimes in some of my videos, but not in all of them. So your conversion rate is the number of people that view your page, right? Conversion rate refers to like your landing pages, your sales pages. If you have any system you have that records your website analytics, so like if you have a website builder like Squarespace, Wix, if you have Lead Pages, Samcart, anywhere where you can build a web page, Shopify, those systems will automatically tell you what your conversion rate is. But a conversion rate is the amount of people who view that page, whether it's a sales page or a product page or a home page, versus over the amount of people who make a purchase or the amount of people who complete the action that you want them to complete. Because some systems only measure conversion rate by this many people saw your page and this many people actually made a purchase at checkout. But some of them you can change it to say this many people viewed your website, this many people clicked this button. So whatever it is that you want people to do. Most of the time when you're sending somebody to a sales page or a landing page, you want them to make a purchase. But sometimes it's just, hey, I want them to click this button. I want them to put in their email address, right? There's no purchase, but I want them to join my list. So there are areas where you can see a conversion rate where people have not made a purchase. So like in your email system, if you have Klaviyo, ConvertKit, MailChimp, MailerLite, Flowdesk, they will tell you your conversion rate on your landing page. It will tell you 100 people visited your landing page and 20 of those people actually signed up for your list. So your conversion rate is 20 over 100, which is 20%. So a conversion rate is 100%. It's whatever out of 100. All right, does that make sense? So we're talking about increasing your conversion rate. There is actually a number there. People will say like, oh yeah, you need to increase your conversions. You need more purchases. Okay, where's the data behind this? It's in your system. It's in your email. So you can go look in your email system today or look in your website system and you'll find it. Conversion rate. The next term is close rate. Close rate is the rate at which you close clients. So if you do discovery calls or you do decision calls, that is the rate at which you actually close a client. So let's say you have 10 calls, 8 people say yes, they paid their deposit. Your close rate is 8 people said yes out of 10 people total. That's 8 out of 10. You have an 80% close rate. Okay. That's important to know because I don't really do discovery calls, but if I talk to somebody and their close rate is high and I ask them like, hey, what's your close rate? And it's something over 50%, I'm telling them to keep doing the calls. Because if you're closing people on the calls, like if you have a high close rate, why would you stop? Keep doing the calls. Or if you don't want to do the calls, find somebody that you can train to do the calls the way that you do them. Because if you can close people on a call, then you should use that tool to keep increasing your sales. So it's important to know your close rate. The conversion rate is important too because I use the conversion rate to diagnose where the problem is happening. So if somebody comes to me and they say, I'm not making enough sales, or I have a landing page or lead page, or I release this product and it's just not selling, like people are just not buying it, or I released this lead magnet, nobody's joining my list. The first thing I go look at is the conversion rate. That's the first thing I go look at because that can help me diagnose what is going on with the situation and what solutions we can use to fix it. It's not a one-time fix-all for each thing. It doesn't work like that, okay? So conversion rate and close rate. The next common term is CTA. CTA stands for call to action. Call to action. So calls to action are used at the end of your captions. They're used on your sales pages. They're the words that you put on buttons. It's basically the directions that you give your audience to do. It's what you tell people to do after they've consumed your content. You'll see it at the end of blog posts. It'll be in text messages. And there's a lot of different calls to action. It could be buy now, register today, join my email list, send me a direct message. That's you giving a specific action to anyone who has consumed your content. That's what a call to action is. If you are releasing content, and not putting a CTA at the end, you're likely missing sales. Okay? Yes. What you tell people to do after they consume your content. CTA. Second to the last term, touch point. So in marketing, it used to be, it takes at first it was 7, right? Like it takes 7 times for someone to see your product or see your service before they make a purchase. Then it was 9 times before someone has to see your service before they make a purchase. Then it went up to 11 times. I don't know what it is right now. The last time I checked, it was 11 times. So every so often, different publications, different news outlets, different organizations, they will do their own research on how people are affected by marketing. And so this also includes how many times do you have to see a commercial before you make a purchase? There's a reason why they play the same commercial over and over and over and over again until the dang jingle is stuck in your head and you go to the store and you see the products and you start singing the song. There's a reason why they do that. It's because marketers have done research that shows it takes a lot of different touch points, and that's what they call them, touch points. It's every single time a customer sees your service. That's considered a touch point. Okay. So if it takes around, because we're sitting at 11 right now, if it takes 11 touch points, so 11 times for someone to see your service before they actually enroll, that means that you need to make sure that you're creating those touch points. All right, so here's a couple of different ideas for touch points. Your email marketing, every time you send an email, that counts as one. Each email counts as one touch point. Because if you're sending out an email, let's just say hypothetically, like Fashion Nova. If somebody goes and joins Fashion Nova's list and they get an email every single day for the next 11 days, they're going to make a purchase. The likelihood that they're going to make a purchase is super, super high. Now, if they join their email list and they only get 2 emails in the next 11 days, the likelihood they're going to make a purchase is a lot less. You'll see how that works? So your emails are touch points. Anytime you go live on any of the platforms is a touch point. So I'm live on Instagram. I'm live on Facebook. There's an email scheduled to go out later today. And I have 2 posts that are scheduled to go out. That's 5 touch points today. The name of the game is to not only increase your touch points, but be consistent with them. Like my lives are every morning at 8 a.m. This is day 6 of the series. So if you missed day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you can go back and go view those touch points. Anybody that's watching this right now that watched day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, at this point, it's probably like, okay, I just need to figure out what I need to get from her. We need to work together. This is the person. It only took 5 days, 6 days of showing up consistently and giving value for free. Like those were my touch points. Okay. So live on social media, posting, email marketing, text message marketing if you use text messages, direct messages counts as a touch point. There's a lot of different ones. I think I have a list somewhere. I have to find it. All right, last term. Last common sales term that you need to know. SEO. S as in Sam, E as in everything, O as in octopus. SEO. Okay. SEO stands for search engine optimization. SEO is the same thing as the algorithm, but somewhere along the line, people stopped saying SEO and they started saying algorithm. It's the same thing. Okay. SEO applies to more so to your website, and algorithm applies to the social media platforms. But in theory, they are both the same thing. So, search engine optimization, let me explain that. When you go to Google and you search for something, most people don't search for things. Now, people are starting to search for things directly on Instagram or directly on YouTube. But most of the time, still, people search for things to buy, they go straight to Google. Hey, google.com, where is the nearest, or let me put in business coaching in Atlanta, business coaches in Atlanta, conferences in Atlanta. What other stuff do we search? Website builders, graphic designers in my area, whatever, right? People go to Google and they put in what they're looking for, and then Google gives you back a page of results, gives you back a whole bunch of results, right? The way that people are ranked, because everyone has a first page, a second page, a third page, a fourth page, whatever. You probably don't look past the third page when you're looking for something. Most people don't even look past the first page. The way that they decide who gets to be on the first page, who gets to be on the second page, and so forth, is based off of search engine optimization. So if somebody searches business coach in Atlanta, and on your website, you have the words business coach Atlanta on your website 50 times, and somebody else who's a business coach in Atlanta has the words business coach Atlanta on their website 100 times, they're going to show up on the first page and you will not. Whoever's website has more use of the keywords that the person searched is going to be higher up in the search engine, because the search engine is assuming this person knows more because they're using those keywords more. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people have gotten away from having a traditional website. Mine is being rebuilt. So I've been using landing pages. And it's really important that we get back to using traditional websites, because we're missing a lot of free publication. You're missing a lot of free traffic from people who are searching for you in your area, because it also does it based off of location. You're missing a lot of free traffic from people who are looking for you in your area that are ready to pay when you don't have a website. Okay? The way that you get more words that say business coach Atlanta, whatever, is you use things like your blog, right? Because if all you have is your homepage, your about me page, your shop page, and your contact us page, it's going to be hard to reach a high usage of those keywords. The way that you get to a higher usage of those keywords is by using your blog, posting blog posts. At least once a week, you need to be posting blog posts, because that's going to help you increase the amount of times you have those keywords on your website. And Sierra says you can have less keywords if you can have less keywords if you have a lower bounce rate. Right. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? My phone was dying, so it just sent me a notification. Volume is out. Can't hear you. Can anybody else hear me? Okay, cool. I think this is taking a second to come back. So the way that you get more keywords on your website is by using your blog. Because if you just have your home page, your about me page, your contact us page, and your shop page, it's going to be really hard to say business coach Atlanta a whole bunch of times without it being weird. Like, you know what I mean? So when you have blog posts, that will help boost your website in the search engine. Instagram works the same way. It goes based off of the keywords that are in your bio. First off, the first priority is the keywords in your username. Then it goes to the keywords that are in your bio. Then it goes to people who follow other people who have those keywords and the crossover amount of followers that you have with those other people, right? So, like, if you guys follow somebody who uses the same keywords, if you guys follow somebody that uses the same keywords as me, and somebody is looking for those keywords, they're gonna find that person. Then once that person looks at the other person who does what I do, then they're gonna recommend my posts. So that's the third way. Then it goes to hashtags, which is why I'm like, why are we even using hashtags anymore? Because it's last on the list. Like, so you can use them, they still kind of work, but it goes in that order. The keywords that are in your username, then it goes to the keywords that are in your bio, then it goes to like profiles that are using those keywords that you share followers with, then it goes to hashtags. That's how the search engine optimization works on Instagram when somebody is searching for something that you do. Okay, that's how it works on Instagram. Facebook, I'm not too privy to how Facebook works because I don't use Facebook a lot. But I know how website stuff works, and I know how Instagram works because I'm always on it. LinkedIn search engine optimization works a lot around who you're connected to. So it works around who you're connected to and who you're interacting with. All right. So those are our common sales terms for today. OTO, downsell, upsell, LTO, HTO, tripwire, WIIFM, conversion rate, close rate, CTA, touch point, and SEO. If you dropped in the middle of this video, I'm adding this into the replay for pre-sales training. If you are interested in sales training, it starts May 2nd. There are 6 spots left. If the spots fill up before we get started, that's it. It's getting shut down. Okay, so make sure you get in there beforehand. But if you are a service-based, if you're a business that provides services online, or you are a coach of any sort, and you have a program available for sale, a coaching package available for enrollment, an online course available for sale, or you sell digital products, this is really going to help you start to increase that conversion rate, increase the amount of people that are making purchases with you and enrolling with you, okay? DM me the word sale if you want to get in. I'll send you more info on what's included and the link to enroll. See y'all later. Have an amazing Monday.